Hi everybody, and welcome back to the landscape. Welcome back to my channel. I was just photographing this scene behind me, which is of a tree in autumn colour, but it's not quite in full autumn colour. There's yellows and greens. There's green grass on the ground, there's grey rocks, and you can probably see leaves falling off the tree right now. So there's a scattering of yellow leaves on the ground. It's, for me anyway, a quintessentially Lake District scene. And I was walking down the path behind where you are, and it just caught my eye. And I just thought, oh, I've got to stop. I've got to photograph that. As I was doing so, I noticed the water down below me, and there's a particular flow of water which has actually got some autumn leaf around it, and maybe being led a little bit by, you know, the autumn leaf that's on the ground here. It kind of just drew me down to look at this flow of water. And those of you that have watched my channel for any length of time, you will know I'm a sucker for moving water. I mean, they never really make it into my portfolio. Well, maybe one or two, but you know, they've got to be absolute belters. But I can't resist moving water. And as I was looking at it, it struck me that the angle at which the water was captured had quite a significant influence on, if you like, my psychological response to how fast or angry or flowy the water was. And I thought, ooh, do you know what? I need to talk to you guys about that. So I'm going to rearrange this camera and rearrange you and just talk to you very quickly about how a change of angle can make quite a significant difference to what the viewer interprets when they look at your final result. So let's get behind the camera. Okie dokie. So here's the back of my camera. I'm sorry there's a little bit of glare. There isn't really a huge amount I can do about it. So, I mean, it's nothing particularly complicated. I'm sort of framed up, got a polarizer on. So if you just watch the glare on this rock here, just going to spin it until that glare has gone. Ooh, it's a bit of a fine balance actually, because there's actually some glare on the water over here. So let's just sort of get a happy medium in between the two. Something like that. Focus. I think we perhaps ought to focus on the rock. Something like that. Perfect. And this was my first sort of orientation, if you like, of this particular scene. Just looking straight at this water flow, lump of colour, and the flow going all the way through the middle. It's f16. There we go. Let's just have a quick look at the back of the camera. Oh, got some blinkies. Okay, let's pull. Oh yes, in fact I can see it on the histogram. There we go, pull it back a bit. So we'll do another one. There we go, a little bit faster, but there we go. Yep, still got a couple of blinkies, but nothing major. I can cope with that in software. But then I started to play with angles, because I noticed this little water flow that you can see here. And it kind of occurred to me that that has much of a say in what's going on in that picture as this main one here. So it encouraged me to start playing with angles. What I actually started to do was something like that. What I was trying to do, and I am sorry for the glare. Oh, there we go, look. I think I've been able to sort it out. Was to move the angle of the camera so that this has more of a feature in the picture. And also, how do I move the display? It's that one, isn't it? There we go. Hang on, I've got to move the video camera a wee bit. Let's do that. Move my umbrella So now you've actually got a bit more of a journey. You have where the water's coming from, where it's going to. You've still got those two lumps of colour, and now this has got more of a say in the picture. But because I've now created a diagonal, the suggestion of energy and movement and everything else is a lot more prominent. It's a lot more powerful than it was in the original interpretation. And it's something that I kind of want to encourage you all to think about. I'm just manipulating the polarizer while I'm doing that. And again, I've got the having to balance the glare off the rock with the glare off the water, sort of somewhere in between. Let's just do focus point. I think it probably should be on that rock again. There we go, that'll do. Let's take that picture. Same process as before. Just wait for it to be written to the card. Yeah, same blinkies as before, but doesn't really matter very much. So this is the original scene, straight through the frame, concentrating on these two blobs of colour. Auto shut down, hey? Concentrating on these two blobs of colour and just allowing this to have a say in the story and in the picture. Being really critical for a minute. I think probably I should have paid a bit more attention to that corner, but hey, there we go. This is just demonstrating a principle. Then we come to that one where we've altered the angle of the camera, and now we've got a diagonal. And that diagonal has added energy and power, added the suggestion of noise, much more of a suggestion of movement. Still got these two lumps of colour, but now the water has more voice, more prominence in what's going on in the picture, more so than that one. I mean, it's effectively the same scene, but what I'm trying to show here is the difference in angle makes such a huge difference. You know, this one now is falling down through the picture, whereas that one, I mean, it really hardly featured in the picture at all. Now it really does feature, and because it falls down, again you get that notion or that idea of energy and movement and noise, far more so than that one. Really, really simple, but really, really powerful at the same time. And it's something that I think all of us as landscape photographers, we should really, really think about considering. I've actually just wondered whether my framing here could be improved. So I'm just going to actually recompose that one more time. No, that's not going to work, is it? So I can't do that on video. I'll do it off video, and then I'll show you the final result. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to say in this video. Again, it's just something that occurred to me whilst I was stood here, you know, playing with the scene and playing with different angles. And I hope you appreciate the huge difference that just a twist in angle makes when you're photographing something like water and you're trying to portray energy and power and volume and all those other aspects in the image that you're trying to create. Don't just go for the straight, the standard, the comfortable, if you like. Push it a little bit. Even though your camera's level meter will be screaming at you saying, no, it's wrong, I'm not level. It doesn't matter. What actually matters is what you grab in the frame and that communicates what you're trying to communicate. That's what really matters. Well, it's certainly to me anyway, that's what really matters. Right, so I'm going to leave this one here. I hope as an idea and as a suggestion it's been helpful and useful. In the comments, please do, tell everybody else how you use your camera, your lenses to include your message, try and communicate what you're trying to say, or maybe just tell me whether this kind of thing works for you or not. If it doesn't, fine. If it does, great. So please like and subscribe, as well as comment. And as ever, I thank you all for your support. So until the next one, please stay well, please stay safe, and I'll see you out again in the landscape. Take care, farewell.